Hi guys, Rebecca Lee here. I think we are on day 4, but I think I should just call it vlog number 4 because it's becoming apparent that I'm not able to do these every day. Which I should have already known that. But anyway, I have several little stories to tell you guys to recap like the last 24 hours. And so, cause kind of a lot has happened. So I will try and keep this short, but I just kind of wanted to give you a glimpse into my day because I had a couple interesting things happen. So something that happened yesterday, I was walking Xena, and I was walking two other small dogs. They were little Chihuahuas, and their names are Honey and Mama, and they're so sweet. Well, anyway, so I walked these guys, or I used to. That was my last walk, or at least my last regular walk with them yesterday, because they are moving away from me. Not too far, but far enough that I won't be able to walk them every day. But anyway, so I was doing my final walk on the path behind, the townhouses where I live. And I've taken this path hundreds and hundreds of times. And I live in Colorado, there's always reports of coyotes, but never have I ever seen one myself on that path. I'm not even sure that any have been reported along that specific path, just in the area. So anyway, long story short, I kind of see something out of my peripheral vision, like rustling in the brush there, and I look over, and it kind of looks like the brush is moving, but I'm not sure if it's the brush moving or if it's just the wind blowing it, if something's in there or if it's just the wind. So I didn't worry about it too much, but I was like, so let's head home. And then about 2 seconds later, I hear some movement in the bushes, and I look over, and you know how dogs will shake it off or whatever when usually it's like a stress thing. Well, I see this coyote doing this shake, and he kind of comes up a little bit closer to us, and he's just like watching us. And it kind of, what I think is, he saw us and decided that for some reason we weren't a good fit for him. We weren't a good target. Maybe my girls are all too scrawny, and he was like, it's not worth it. They're too little. I don't know, but he was really beautiful, and for a split second I was like, oh, I want to see him. Because that's the kind of nerd that I am. But it was a split second, and then I was like, no, because he's dangerous. So anyway, it was kind of interesting. So we continued along our way, and he did not follow us any further, so that was good. A little bit of excitement, but not too much. So that was fun. So I wanted to share that with you guys. But anyway, I'm not the best storyteller. But that was interesting. I haven't seen a lot of coyotes in Colorado. I have seen several, or not several, but when I used to live in Lakewood, I saw a couple. There was a big lake that I would walk my dog around, and I think 3 or 4 times we saw some pretty scrawny coyotes over that way. So I always have to be on watch out here. And I used to, I was a substitute custodian years ago for a high school just during one summer to make some extra money, and they told me as I was picking up trash around the school grounds to be very careful because there's rattlesnakes. So you just have to be careful. I never did see a rattlesnake. I saw a lot of prairie dogs. Those guys were so cute. But anyway, I digress. The other thing that happened, there's an organization, and I won't go into it too much because I don't want the video to be too long, but it's called Uncharted. And my daughter had a school event, and the creator of Uncharted came and did a talk to kind of open the event. And he explained his organization. And basically what they do is they help entrepreneurs, they help nonprofits, and for-profits with innovative ideas, with things that are solving world issues. They help these businesses get off the ground, and they surround them with mentors. Anyway, it's an amazing organization. When I heard this man speak and when I heard what his organization did, I literally started to cry, because I thought, this is the help that I need. And where I don't have my nonprofit yet, because it's just a concept, I just kind of felt a connection. I was like, this is something I want to get involved in. So I want to volunteer or something. So I keep meaning to email and tell them what my idea is for my nonprofit, and share my dream with them, just to kind of let them know, put myself on the radar, kind of, or I don't know. But anyway, just to connect with them. I just want to make a connection. And so I haven't done that yet, but what I did was, I went and I signed up to receive like updates and stuff like that from them. So I got an email yesterday saying, hey, we've got some job openings and we think you'd be perfect, which I was like, okay, you don't know anything about me. They said, I don't think they do. But it was just like confirmation that I really need to connect with these guys. I need to hurry up. And so I looked at the 4 positions they have, and the one that I think I really would actually be good for it's just a 3-month, I would be an assistant to the process that they do. They take these entrepreneurs through. They take them, I think it's only like a 5-day boot camp, but it takes a lot to, bring it all together and get the mentors there and the facilitation and all that. So it would basically be, assisting that process. So anyway, I'm excited. It's a paid position. It's only 10 to 20 hours a week for that 3 months, and I would get an inside look into the process that this company does. So I'm not banking on getting this position, but it's definitely the kick in the butt I needed to make that connection that I was feeling like I needed to make with these guys. So I'm excited about that. We'll see where that goes. And then and the other thing was, money's been super tight. I've been not paying credit card bills, keeping all the essentials paid, but some of those are getting paid late. So I'm like, I still, I've talked about this before, I still trust that I'm doing the right thing, on the right track, and that even financially, I need to just keep going, because getting a job doesn't make sense for me, and I don't want to go into that in this video. Another video I might. I think I definitely should, because I think it's something that probably a lot of people, especially people following their dreams, think about. And anyway, it'll be a really good thing to talk about and share my experience with it with you guys. But for today, I'm just going to say that I know I'm doing the right thing, and that financially I'm going to be fine. But right now, with just Hoon and I trying to live on his salary, it's difficult. So I had a lady from the group I'm doing, the in-person Saturday groups for the 30 Days of Learning to Love You journal. She asked me, hey, can you let my dogs out during the week? She lives really close to me. She said, can you just run by the house and let my dogs out, and I could give you some money to do that. So that was awesome. It helps her out because she knows I'm somebody she can trust, and it helps me out because it helps with just a little extra money, which is something I really need right now. And then also the gal that I was walking Honey and Mama for said, hey, maybe you can come by, and it's not a long-term solution, but I can continue walking them for a little while during this financially rough period, because I really didn't want to travel to walk the dogs. They're already in the neighborhood, which is why I walk them. But right now, while things are tight, of course, then I'm kind of more willing to do that. And then she mentioned to me today that the person who's buying her townhouse is talking about getting a puppy. And so I might have another dog to walk. We'll see. But anyway, those jobs, those opportunities are not important in and of themselves. They're just confirmation to me from the universe, like finding a dime on the ground or some kind of sign that, you know, the universe is taking care of you, God's taking care of you, that you're not gonna become homeless and destitute, right? That's how I'm taking these little opportunities, as just confirmation to keep going, that it's going to be okay. So I wanted to share that. And then the other thing I wanted to share was that because I'm not paying my credit cards right now, I'm probably a month behind on all of them. And I think there's 4 of them, or maybe 5. Divorce kind of hurts you financially, and I struggle. But anyway, I don't want to go into why I have credit card debt. I just do. So anyway, been getting a lot of phone calls from these creditors, and I'm somebody who gets a little bit of social anxiety when my phone rings. So even if it's family or a friend, I get a little anxiety, and then I'll answer the phone, and once I start talking to someone, then I'm fine. But the other day, maybe it was Tuesday or Wednesday, I can't remember, I talked to somebody, one of the creditors on the phone, and I wasn't having an emotionally great day anyway, and so it just struck me wrong, and I just felt really depressed and sad, and I think I talked about this in my last vlog, actually. I felt overwhelmed and sad. So, and I ignore those calls if I'm busy, but I finally decided, you know what? If I'm not busy and I can answer the phone, I have a few minutes, I'm going to go ahead and answer those calls and talk to them, because that's better than them. They're just going to keep calling. And so even though this is not going to really stop the phone calls, I will talk to them and basically just tell them I'm hoping to get some more money in, because I have plans to share my 30 days book online through several different avenues. I made some little zipper pulls that I can't show you because I think they're upstairs in my room right now. They're super cute, but I'm going to put them on Etsy. And I have some different things that I'm doing, the dog walking and stuff, that's bringing a little extra money in. So I'm hoping to get enough of a steady income that I can start paying these guys. So when they call, I've only done this 2 times, not counting the tearful one the other day, where I just talked to them and said, hey, this is where I'm at, and I give them a date, because they're always wanting a date. They say, well, when do you think you can pay us? And so I'm like, well, I think I should have some money by the 15th or whatever. And maybe you would consider it lying, but I consider it making their job easier and giving myself a little bit of time, because if they have a note in there saying she's going to make a payment on this day, then they won't waste their time calling until once that day is passed, and they'll start calling you again. So I do that, and a lot of times they'll say, well, let's go ahead and post-date a payment for you, and then we'll just withdraw it on that date. And I'm like, well, actually, that's not a good idea, because if the money's not actually in the account at that point, then I'm going to be charged bank fees. But anyway, I don't want to go into this too much, except to say that if you have this same problem, if you ever get into a place where you can't make payments, you really want to. I mean, they can see on my payment history for years I've been making payments, and maybe have one late payment that's maybe 3 or 4 days late, but I've never had missed payments. So they can see that I'm doing my best, and they can see that I'm trying, and that's all I can do, is tell them that I'm trying. and I don't know what's coming. So, I do my best to tell them as honestly as I can, because they don't like the answer, I don't know when I'm getting any more money. It doesn't do any good to tell them that. So, I don't know. Let me know. Am I right or wrong on that? Should I just tell them I have no idea, I'm working on it? Or would you do that? Would you tell them, I'll try and pay by this day? Because I will. And I'm actually, the other thing I'm doing to take advantage of this is every time they call, I ask them, what is my payoff amount as of today? If I were to mail you a check, how much does it need to be to pay off the balance completely? And that way I can kind of keep track, and I can see what my total debt is, and I ask them, what payments am I behind? And I'm like keeping track of the numbers so that I have them, because just sticking my head in the sand and ignoring it isn't helpful. So at least I have this information. I'm going to open up an Excel spreadsheet and put all the numbers in so I can keep track. So that's how I'm handling it. And I'm not going to worry about it. And I'm just not. And you guys, this is where my radical acceptance and my mindfulness and my gratitude, all of those things come into play to help me with this stuff. Because this stuff used to bother me. And now I'm just able to say it is what it is. I can be happy no matter what it is. And, I just put the best plan into action that I can, and then I'm grateful for what I have, and I'm not going to fret about what I don't have. So right now what I don't have is the ability to pay these bills. But what I do have is the ability to make extra money different ways, and to carry out my plan of reaching as many people as possible with this very thing, this being able to handle the stress that comes in your life as it comes and not let it bother you. I wrote an article called Stress is Optional. And for me, obviously everything is stress. Waking up in the morning is stressful. Stress is just, oh my goodness, I'll have to look up the definition of stress. But everything causes you good or bad stress. Everything causes you an amount of stress. You cannot live without stress, okay? But what I mean is added stress is optional. And you can train your brain to not stress about this stuff. I had some personal news that I'm not going to share. Well, anyway, I'm not going to share it. I have something that I'm dealing with that I don't really want to share. That you have to just take it as it comes, and you're not going to know the outcome most of the time. But you just have to keep going. You have to say, you know what? I'm going to assume the best possible outcome here, and I'm going to go forward, because assuming the worst is not going to help. It's not helpful. Now, I can make plans, and I should. That's why I'm entering all these numbers for the debt. That's why, I don't know, I can't think of anything else at the moment. There's tons more, but my mind just went blank. There's things you can do, but those actions are a lot easier to take when you're not panicking. And you can retrain your brain to not stress over these really big, scary problems. It takes practice. So, anyway, that's my goal. That's what I'm trying to do, is get as many people this information as possible, and to help as many people as possible learn that they don't have to stress out, that they can enjoy their life every day no matter what life brings them. That there's always the pain and the struggle, but there's always the joy too. So you don't have to make that pain and struggle worse than it already is, which is where most of our suffering comes from. And that's the truth that has really changed me, is you don't realize how much pain and suffering you're causing yourself in addition to whatever life has handed you. So once you let go of the added, it's like getting rid of added sugar, your diet will just be transformed if you stop adding sugar or eating added sugar in your foods. This is the same thing. Your life will get so much more free and more colorful and more beautiful when you stop adding stress. So anyway, let's see. I think the last thing I want to talk about, I'll end on a light note, is, and this is kind of crazy, and I don't know why I forget to do this, but my dog Xena is a barky girl. And if she's bored, she will watch, she'll be extra vigilant on the top of my couch, watching to see if anybody goes by. You know, she sits on the couch looking out the window. She watches for anybody to walk by and bark at them. And it's really annoying, and it's hard to talk on the phone, and it's not good. And so after the 5th time this morning of telling her, be a good girl, because she'll stop for a few seconds, finally I was like, okay, I need to work with her for a few minutes, because if you can reestablish with your dog that you're in charge and that you've got the situation under control, it will calm them down. So all you have to do is teach them to sit, teach them to leave it, teach them something really simple, and then work with them for just a few minutes, and then they will stop the misbehavior for the most part. And you've got to make sure you walk them. You've got to make sure you're taking them to the dog park, or you're playing with them or whatever, because a bored dog is going to misbehave. But anyway, so I had just walked her, so I was like, you've been walked. We played with, we threw the toy around a little bit this morning, so you can't be super bored. Maybe you're a little bit, but you're not at this level of boredom, so you're just nervous maybe about the people outside. I don't know. So I just spent 5 minutes doing our little sit, leave it, just the little tricks. I don't even think we did it for 5 minutes. Maybe we did it for a minute or two, but she's been good ever since. She's just been hanging out on the couch and quiet as can be. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, because it's a really cool trick. I will put the guy I learned it from, I think I learned that actually from Caesar. No, Zach George. I don't know. But anyway, Zach George is the one I want to share, because he's phenomenal and awesome, and he has real positive techniques that he uses to train dogs. He's an amazing guy. So I'm going to put his link in the description below, so you guys can go check him out for you dog owners watching. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. I love you guys. Thank you for watching this. If you liked it, please, as always, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Share it with somebody. Give it a thumbs up. Your support is so amazing, and I appreciate all of you who support me. Any little bit that you do really blesses me. So thank you, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Leave me some comments. I love to chat, so I always reply to comments. So bye. See you next time.